Well, we knew headed into this one that the scoring would be few and far between, and that's exactly what we saw at the friendly confines. With that said, welcome on in to Cubs Postgame Live, presented by Yuengling, America's oldest brewery. Seiya Suzuki, he was the Cubs' last hope, and he was swinging the bat at an unreal clip today, but that little indecision would be all that the Pittsburgh Pirates needed to take Game 2 of this series. 2-1, a thin victory with Paul Skeens out there on the hill. So, this is doubling as our Marquee Sports Network studios today. It's Wrigley Field here in the press box. I'm Cole Wright alongside Cliff Floyd. And Cliff, the Cubs looked as if they could have been in the driver's seat in this one, but then it went to extras and then entered David Bednar, who's been really good as of late.
He's been awesome. I think the big thing for me is if you are going to face Paul Skeens and go 0 for 10 with runners in scoring position, you're not winning the game. And that's bottom line what it is. So execution from the offense wasn't there. Caden Horton was fantastic. And when you have a chance to get a guy to third base, you know, in extras to tie the game back up, it has to happen. Didn't happen today.
Yeah, didn't you like the game plan, though? Let's do what we can against Paul Skeens. Let's hope to drive that pitch count up, get him out of there, and dig into that bullpen sooner rather than later.
It was executed perfectly, right? I mean, they fouled off a lot of pitches from him, got the pitch count up, as you just said, and, you know, you had a chance today with some opportunities that you squandered away, and you're just not going. I don't care who it is in the league. The Pirates are 14.5 games out of first place. We talked about it in the pregame.
Still professionals.
They still professionals, and they will beat you, right? They will beat you, especially when they run into a situation where, you know, they're playing some pretty good baseball. So here it is right here in the third inning. You know, you have a chance to at least put a run on the board against them, and you have your best hitters at the plate in the heart of your order, and you get, you know, a couple pop-ups. Does it happen? Absolutely in this game. Is it tough to hit off a guy like Paul Skeens? No matter who you have on base, yes, he can pitch himself out of trouble. I get it. But you the Cubs, and you're playing fantastic baseball this season. And he made some pitches where, you know, they weren't incredible pitches. They were pitches to the point where Cal Tucker was 3-2. He just missed it, and you know, Seiya popped up with baseball. But those are the opportunities I'm talking about. And when you look at being 0 for 10, 0 for 10 is not going to win you any game. I don't care if you're the best team in baseball or the worst team in baseball.
Yeah, we talk about it all the time, and we were talking as we watched the ball game. I know it's not the ideal situation, but when you have a top-flight ace like Paul Skeens out there, one thing that you don't see a whole bunch out of him is making him field his position. Perhaps in a situation like we saw in the third, if you could put down a bunt and make something happen. If he fields his position, maybe he throws the ball away, maybe he just doesn't like the position that he's put in, but sometimes you have to press that issue. You don't like that one?
Well, I mean, I like the fact that you think that way. They can play that brand of baseball.
You have to do whatever you can to win when Paul Skeens is on the hill.
I get it. But, you know, I don't think you're going to see Cal Tucker and these guys bunting right the heart of your order. I don't think it happens much now these days. We saw the Phillies do it, right, and they won them a ball game. Yeah. I mean, but you know, they came in limping, right? They went home, you know, losing 9 of 10. The one thing I look at is you got in good counts. You know, the game is a game of inches, and if you're going to, you know, miss opportunities against Paul Skeens, you're going to lose a game. He's not giving you anything. He gave up a goose egg of runs today. The bullpen gave you some chances as well. Dansby hitting to the double play. So there's times throughout the game where we're watching it going, you get first and second, no outs, and you don't score at all the whole day. It's probably going to cost you the game, and it did.
Yeah, how about the send Ian Happ? It looked as if he had a shot, but the one thing that really jumped out is anytime O'Neal Cruz is on any part of a relay throw, you may want to second-guess that one, and Ian Happ, he found out the hard way at the house.
Well, it was a perfect bounce off the wall, first and foremost, right? And then you have Quentin Berry saying, listen, we're not going to score many off of Paul Skeens. I'm going to take this chance. You have to make 2 perfect throws, and they did. And that's just how this game goes. You're going to get caught behind that. You're going to get caught at times behind the 8-ball, and you're going to have to make 2 perfect throws. The ball caroms off the wall perfectly into O'Neal Cruz's glove. He makes an accurate throw. You get the accurate throw from short, and there goes, you know, Happer at home plate. You know, you can put it on so many different things. I just think that when you have a couple opportunities with first and second, that's when what we've seen from this team this whole season, right? They've capitalized on every opportunity, and maybe you do run into, you know, a stall here and there throughout the season offensively. This is when you have to grind through. I remember the teams I was on that was really good. We had to grind through times until you get to the All-Star break, right? And then you get a little break. But, I mean, these teams are chomping at the bit to come get you, especially against, you know, Cade Horton today, because Cade knew what he was up against.
He matched Paul Skeens
pitch for pitch, and he was outstanding. But when you talk about the offense, this offense we've talked about a ton. I mean, a ton this season because they've been that good.
Yeah, even though Paul Skeens currently sitting with a losing record, do the guys in that Pittsburgh Pirate clubhouse, do they get a little extra pizzazz behind their play when he's out there on the hill? Because when you have a dude like that out there throwing bullets, it makes it easier to play baseball.
It really does. And you know what? I mean, Paul is very vocal. You know, and they know. I mean, he came into this game, you know, 4-6 with a 1.8. I mean, you know, so they
dropped it to a 1.78.
And he dropped it because he gave up a goose egg of runs. But they're a team that's underachieved. We talk about it, and we keep talking about the Pirates. They don't hit enough, you know, and they don't score enough runs for them. So hence why you're going to see the record. He's the only one in the league where you look at the win-loss record and go, you know, this is probably what it's going to be from him. It probably won't cost him the Cy Young because he's that good. So I think when you look at the Cubs side, you just miss opportunities that you typically capitalize on. And, you know, you're going to go in the L column.
Absolutely. 4-game series versus these Pittsburgh Pirates, and a lot of prognosticators had this baked in as a surefire loss. And unfortunately, the Cubs, they weren't able to run through the tape. Paul Skeens, he was really good from the top, but the Pittsburgh bullpen also very solid. So let's head to the media room. Let's check in with the skipper, Craig Counsell, on a tough one.
We pitched well. You know, the guys did a good job. You know, it was a day offensively where we just didn't get the hit with the next hit. The right guys up a lot, but I think we ended up. I don't know how many chances we had in scoring position, but we just didn't get a hit with runners in scoring position, and it's you know, you're gonna have to pitch almost basically perfect to overcome that.
Seemed to get Skeens out of there in 5 at 10 pitch at bat by. You know, Tucker was.
Yeah, we had, you know, you get him out of there in 5. We created a couple scoring opportunities. The third inning we made really tough on him. Some long at bats. You know, even against Skeens, we just couldn't get the next hit. You know, we got the Tucker double. I thought they got a pretty good kick off the wall, and then the shortstop made a really nice play on the short hop throw and made a good throw. So credit to their defense on that one. And like I said, we're just missing the next hit.
With Cade, he kind of got a roll there in the 2nd through 4th innings with his efficiency. Just what did you see with just how he was able to get?
Yeah, I mean, you know, he's pitching really well. And he's locked in. He's delivering good outings. He's efficient. His stuff plays in the strike zone, which is such an important thing for a young pitcher to feel. And you know, look forward to giving him the ball next time.
Craig, how much does the schedule, the moment that you're in now, combined with this weather that continues to not favor hitters, play a part into things?
Well, I mean, I wouldn't use that today. I mean, it was a rainy day, but I don't think the wind played a factor in the game today. You know, we faced a good pitcher. Tough to score against him.
Feels like the last week or 10 days, runners in scoring position haven't been coming through as often as you were earlier. Is that just kind of randomness of baseball?
Yeah, I mean, I think if you're going to take 10-day samples of that, yes.
Did you know, the approach against Skeens kind of remind you of Skubal? You had good at bats against the lead, just didn't get that next hit. Can you take away something positive?
Yeah, I would say, you know, frankly, even better. I mean, I think you get him out after 5 innings. You know, we did have some scoring opportunities, but look, they make it hard. You know, I mean, you get some runners on, and it's still tough. You know, we had some long at bats, I think, in this case, maybe a little different than in Detroit. Some very long at bats. A bunch of guys did, but you got to get hits to win.
Craig, we didn't see the lineup before the game. I'm sorry if someone asked you. Is Tucker's 4th time DHing over the last 10? Is that all finger, or is it? No, that's just over this stretch, just related to getting him some rest on this stretch. Just want to make sure.
Yeah.
Thanks, Craig.
All right, well, Craig facing the music. This one was a tough one. However, there's still a pair versus the Pittsburgh Pirates and then a whole handful of ball games left. 6 to be exact in front of the home crowd. A 2-1 loss. These Cubs, they will not be deterred. More right around the corner. Stick with us. This is Cubs Postgame Live.